Okay, guys, so we keep on going on the cross of prevention. I'm a little bit confused because all of a sudden I saw that we were at the 5-1 and I probably didn't finish the 5-1 the other day. So I am going to keep going with the 5-2 and then the 6-2 and the 6-3. Okay? Yeah, I'm lost a little bit. We're 1 week behind. Today is a 5-1 day already in the next cross. But what to do? We're on the cross of individualism. I think this whole love and basically this whole confrontation 39-38 game was very confusing. But we'll get to that. Let's start with the 5-2. The 5-2, I truly don't know what they want to prevent. Yeah, you have to understand that from my perspective as a pure individual, I have a deep, deep mustard for the collective. I really do, because I know from my history what the collective is capable of. I know what the collective is capable of, and the false illusion of serving the greater good that so many are going to disadvantage at best. And you're in or you're out, and you're not with us, you're against us. There's no halfway. It's all black and white. And the whole thing about the 5-2 is that you know that the 5-2 has all these plans about preventing things. 5-2s on this cross belong in the CIA. These kind of investigative dig underneath, find out what the real flow is, get to the dirt, supervision to get underneath and trying to pull things into a different flow. In the spy game to turn somebody. 5-2 are great turners. You know nothing about them. They go for their office every day in the sample suit and they go home at night and they got their spy kit. They're going to bring you into the world so you can help them change the flow. What you see in the 5-2 is cells. Does this ring a bell in our terrorist world? You see cells, secret cells being developed with their own timing systems, their own patterns. You notice how these cells all have extended programs. None of these cells are waiting around for spontaneous moments. Terrorist cells are given a program. The ones that destroyed Bin Laden airplanes, Air Bin Laden, take it off your office. Anyway, one of the first jokes I heard was, Fly United, it takes you straight to your office. It's so funny, the black sense of humor that comes out of such horrifying events. Though I don't know any redundant jokes, thank God, because I don't even think my black sense of humor would put up with that. It's a little too much for me. But there's this subversiveness, and there's this timing, and there's this self thing, and to bring all of it together, you can see that the not self 5-2 is going to be very, very good at these secret programs, these secret flows, bringing in with their magnetism just the right ingredients to be able to do their damage over time. There's great planning involved in all of these things, all of these efforts, years and years and years of working out to finally get to the moment where you have your impact and you try to disrupt the flow of your enemy. You try to prevent your enemy from feeling comfortable. That's what terrorism does. It prevents you from being relaxed and feeling safe. And the moment that the government cannot provide safety to its citizens, begin to deny the power of the government. Yeah, our government is making us sick right now, locking us up, giving us vaccines. It's insane. Then we go to the 6-2. Finally, sorry guys, 6-2. When we get to the 6-2 and the 6-3 in the experience, I want you to see that very clearly that because they're looking to the next gate, they suddenly have a problem. It's like, wait a minute now. If I look back, all I see is the throat. It's like, it's all throat. What's over there? In other words, the movement of looking into the, they're going to looking at the 52. And looking at the 52, they're down, down, down into the root, into pressure. Oh, the 15 hates pressure. Oh, do 15 hates pressure. Can I say that's strong enough? They hate pressure. And so there's the 6-2 sitting up there saying, I'm supposed to be a supposed to be a magnetic role model pulling people into the flow. Prayer pressure. Oh, that's depressing. And worse, you're 15 looking at the gate that pressure you to be focused. You're the gate of extreme, staring at the gate of focus, and it's precisely the same circuit. It's horrifying. It's like you're going to take away my freedom. Once you get into the form of business, once you get into the flow business, you get into the freedom business. Nothing takes away your freedom faster than having people pull you into the flow. Because once you're in the flow, you better do what you're told, and you give up your freedom. It's an illusion anyway, but it hurts. Illusion or not. So the 6-2 is standing up there saying, haha, the only thing that saves is not self 6-2 is that they have such a wild ride in the extremism on the third line team that they never get wise enough to even recognize how much trouble they're in. And what's even funnier, it's not enough, is that those that are in control of the flow are the greatest prisoners. Do you know what it takes to hold people in your flow? Talk about the need for pressure. If you don't do what you're told, we're going to sue you, kill you, fire you, drop hot wax on you. I don't know, whatever it takes. And not Even only that, but if you're in charge in the flow, you're a prisoner to keeping everybody in the flow. Otherwise, you're a failure. It's such a trap for them. The moment you're in the body, you're not free anyway. I don't know what all this stuff is all about. I'm certainly not free. My personality, my consciousness, my passenger consciousness is sort of free. It's free of the illusion of being controlled by the body. But the body's already formed principle law that says your body is in a specific flow and there's nothing you're going to be able to do there. You're going to live as long as the rhythmic cellular complexity operates, and it will die, and you go with it. And there's nothing you can do about that. Everything about the form principle is robbing humanity of its freedom. It's what it does. So the 6-2 is one of those examples that has to learn to be an example of giving up your freedom. And I'm giving your freedom, and in giving your freedom, recognizing that there's nothing more powerful as a magnetic force than giving up your freedom. Nelson Mandela, Lenin, not John Vladimir, go into jail for a while. It's really good. He gave up his freedom for freedom. He gave up his freedom for truth. Don't ask him personally what he had to give up. But you really have to see that this is one of those 6-2s on this configuration. They're the ones that have to see, oh, I know what life it is. Life is not being free. If you can't get to that place, it's a great mission. It's not about saying, oh, whoa, it's me. We are not free. Oh, it's whoa, it's me. I have no free, I have no choice. It's okay. It's like the lack of freedom is because we can be free. I promise each and every one of you truly, if you want freedom, there's something you can do. Die. At least the illusion ends. But other than that, the flow is a trap. We're all trapped. None of us are free. It's all an illusion. And it's the 16 on the cross that had to see that. Ultimately, that example of this is how life works. And of course, it often leads to what be some of the saddest commentary you hear, which is I only follow orders. I was only following orders. I was only going along with the majority. I was only going along with everybody else said. I wasn't free to just say no. I wasn't free to make a difference. I wasn't free to stand up and protest. It's just one of the things to understand about human beings and the way we work, and not to be surprised that society can become evil. All it takes is the right catalyst. So then the 6-2. The real dilemma on this configuration is that the 6-2, because the 6-2 is not even so much that it sees that it's all a trap, that they're going to be stuck. It's that it doesn't appear to get any of the traps work. It's like, I'm not going to be free. What kind of cell do I get? Am I supposed to leave, going to have some privileges in this lack of freedom? What are the advantages of surrendering to being not being free? What are the advantages? Because boy, when you get to the pressure, I mentioned it years and years ago, I think with Jurgen the first time when somebody had asked me about going to jail gates, which was an odd question, but anyway, the 50-second gate is one of these gates where you get locked up so you can focus. I have people that I have known in my life who have gone to prison for things, and it was a transforming experience because they had nothing else to do but focus. This is supposed to be us. I wrote a song years ago called Prisoner of Destiny. This is us. We're prisoners inside of these vehicles with the destiny to see what it brings. What's going on in the form world? How does it all work? So this is something that's very special here. This is one of these fundamental ingredients that are here in humanity. This is the gate of humanity, and really be able to grasp that the great question for humanity is in order for us to evolve, in order for us to work together, we in fact have to give up our individual freedoms. Now, you know that's not my teaching. My teaching is that everyone has their own authority. I'm a heretic after all. And the heretical opposition in the material plane, their heresy is to give up your freedom, baby, because there's none. And go with the flow because this is the way of the world. It's another time now, and it comes from another place in the world. And this old message, if I could wake up this speaker, if I could wake up this 15-6, like if I could, maybe we'll see, then we might have chance. Then we can really have an engine pointing us in a different direction about the nature of what freedom is, because there's no success, so where we headed. Let's remove it from the Maya. We can do that. You'll be surprised at how many things have left the Maya. Have you ever thought about that? If you go back into our history, how many things are lost, forgotten, that has done that nobody even knows what he's even done? I'm not talking about UFO, fancy science fiction stuff. I'm talking about ordinary experiences, ordinary processes. This theme of freedom is deep in us. It's one of the deepest sicknesses in the not self. It's the assumption that you need to be free of what? I don't know now. There truly is no freedom. And yet, when I look at the 50 and I see the way in which the collective moves us, I recognize that the collective is meant to prisons. There are no prisons again amongst the tribes. They don't need prisons. If you cause trouble in your family, you get into trouble. You're immediately dealt with. And if you're really bad, you're simply ostracized and you're never allowed to go back in. It's very rare that you see real severe punishment within a tribe. It's all blood. with the collective, all the things I've done is build prisons. It's amazing how many prisons there are in the world. It's amazing how many human beings are in cages. It's unbelievable. I think it's 1.3 million in America. It's a lot of people in jail, no freedom. This is one of our fundamental themes. We have a deep obligation whenever we're dealing with vessels to recognize that the vessel of love is not something that's flowery and whooshy. You hear this name and you think, it's the vessel of love. Yeah, I never forget that what's there in the vessel. I can't. I have the 10, I have the 25, and I know what it's carrying vessel energy. And I know that it's so nice. It's so obvious that there is this and the other side of it. And it's also obvious that this is illusion of love, which are described as the monopole, holding together in its mononess, pulling everything else toward it. This is the very essence of the imprisonment of the loss of freedom. And do you know who the jailer is? It's the magnetic monopole. From the magnetic monopole disengaged from the design crystal and lost its connection to love and its source, it's been putting us in prison ever since. And the only time it releases from prison is when we die. We can go back to the design crystal and be happy. We have all our prisoners. We have all our personal jail guard. It's our monopole. So if you want to be in prison, which you're well looked after, you gotta get nice facilities and privileges and good food and good sex and enough money to spend all that stuff. Be correct, just be correct. I live in an absolutely gorgeous jail myself, and I've been telling my guards for years that he's doing a really good job. I seem to get all the things that I need, and I don't mind being a prisoner. And this is the way in which our psychology must go. And it means these things have been to be transformed. So we need to transform that whole area. And now slowly we get into the 52nd gate with the right angle cross of service. So this is what we've been in now, service and demands. Wow, here we go. Are you ready for some demands? Are you ready for some service? Because we are ready and here we go. Boom.